Hey, Raghavi, how do you feel about Tinder?
Like the app or the thing you use to light a
The
fire?
app.
Oh, because I have opinions about Tinder for fire, but I don't really like it. I mean, it's very, I had found it very not personal. Like it felt a little icky at the time.
Shallow?
Yeah, shallow is the right word. Icky is not the right word. My apologies. A little bit. Maybe it's the group of people that are on it. I don't know.
Maybe. But
Yeah.
there have been some times that some people have found love on Tinder. So,
Oh, that's true. I know people
Yeah.
who have gotten like married and had kids and stuff through Tinder. Yeah.
see? That's nice. Sometimes you find love and sometimes you get more than you asked for.
Like what?
On that ominous note, start music.
Have you ever wondered why women don't do more crime?
Well, we're here to tell you there's misconduct all the time.
Women are thieves and murderers,
That's gross misconduct.
con artists, money launderers,
Criminal misconduct.
financial fraud that's hard to track,
Takes some planning, but still misconduct.
even breaching a contract.
That's more civil though.
Misconduct, misconduct. We tell you all about women that suck, things that make you say, what the? It's misconduct.
Hello, and welcome to Misconduct. We are a podcast that talks about women that did some terrible things, usually crimes, but just otherwise bad things also. I'm Raghavi.
And I am Nisha. And this is a surprise episode where one of us does the research while the other provides wonderful reactions. Today, I will be telling the story and Raghavi will be mortified. So I'm excited for that.
Yay!
Today's episode was actually suggested by one of the listeners, Shilpi Talwar. She reached out to us on Instagram. And I will be telling you the story of India's Tinder murderer, Priya Seth.
Oh God.
Before we start,
It's a murder.
disclaimers.
I'll do the disclaimers, even though I'm horrified. This podcast is not meant for kids. So
Yep.
be a good parent if you have kids.
Yes.
I don't know why it came out so aggressive. I think I'm already a little stressed out. I'm sorry. I'm really
Yes.
terrified already, man. I'm just
Yeah,
so
also
scared.
trigger warnings because we're talking about a murderer. So there's definitely going to be conversations about violence. So, listener discretion is definitely advised.
Yeah, wow, I really stopped functioning there for a second.
Yes. Okay, so my first introduction to Priya Seth was through this short documentary by Deepika Narayan Bharadwaj. And I knew I had to do this episode just by seeing the documentary. We're definitely going to link this in the show notes so you can go and see it. Because throughout the documentary, this is after she's been caught and sentenced and everything, right? So this is a journalist who is talking to her. And throughout the time, she's just calm and even sometimes chirpy.
What?
Even when she's talking about murder, right?
A murder she committed.
Yes.
Okay, just clarifying. It could
Yep.
we also chirpily talk about murder. So
I have many thoughts about this video, but we'll get to that later. For now, I am just happy that there was plenty of good quality information for me to just sift through and put this together.
nice. You love that.
I do. I really do. So there's a lot of different aspects of this case that really intrigued me. And I'm going to take you through it in a way that made sense, that made most sense to me.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll discover her to an extent, then the case, then suddenly the influx of information that came out about her. And then of course, the short documentary.
It's a story, but in the way everyone else found out about it.
Yes, pretty much.
I love that. I love being treated like, any audience member.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, have you been to Jaipur?
I have, yeah.
Oh, cool. So what do you know about Jaipur? What do you like about Jaipur?
I think it's pretty and colorful. There's a lot of good food, a lot of camels. I love camels.
Yeah.
Fundamentally, to the core of my being, I love camels. I love there's so much history to explore, not just the forts and stuff, but every house seems to have some history to it. But yeah, I realized as I said this and I sounded so cute, you're going to say something horrifying to me.
No. It's Jaipur is the place that Priya also looked up and she was like, wow, this is beautiful and amazing. And what a city it is. But that's because she was born and raised in a middle class family in a small town in Rajasthan called Falna. Okay. So probably 91. I just did some very basic back calculation there. So she's about our age. She was apparently born brilliant, right? So according to her father, who is a college professor, and he said, and I quote, She got 90% in her 10th boards, 85% in 12th boards. She's good at dance, debating. Our shelves are lined with her medals and certificates. You can't tell this seeing her in jail, but she used to be so beautiful.
Oh wow.
I know.
That was the whole quote, even the beautiful part?
Yep.
Oh man.
Yeah, but
That's from her dad. What a bummer.
yes.
Yeah.
He also adds that she was stubborn. What she wanted, got angry easily, broke things at home, couldn't take no, and didn't have the fear of anything.
Oh, this is the part that the prosecution tells you.
Yeah.
The other stuff was the cute defense things. Like, hey, look, she's so smart. How could she have done it? And the prosecution's like, she just wanted everything.
Yes.
No in between.
But yeah, so like since she was from a smaller town, when she looked up to Jaipur, she was like, saw it as like a land of opportunities. And she went there in 2012. She was sent there to attend college and she chose to study arts. And also she was taking coaching classes to write the entrance exams for the administrative services. Right. And because she's moved to a bigger city, she's going to need more money. So her father used to send her around 20,000 rupees per month for her expenses.
Oh.
Yeah. Can you imagine having 20,000 per month in a city like Jaipur? Like,
Yeah.
it's not like a Bombay or a Delhi, right?
Although I don't know what rent is like in Jaipur. I'm not sure.
Again, I'm comparing to a Bombay or Delhi.
You can't compare anything to a Bombay. That's just not fair.
That's okay. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's
That is true.
Like inflated prices for the heck of it. That's different. But yeah, maybe Delhi. I get what you mean.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's still a lot of money for a kid. I agree.
Yep, it was. However, she felt like it was not enough for her and she kept insisting that she wants to be a crorepati, which is, it starts off all cute and ambitious. So in her second year of college...
I'm so terrified, dude. Like I'm just...
Okay. Let me set your mind at ease. The murder doesn't happen for a very long time. So just like
Oh, great.
enjoy the story.
Just a breakdown of her character while I anticipate the murder
Yes.
the whole time. Yeah. Go.
In her second year of college, she started looking for a job. And here her father says that she got trapped by the wrong kind of people. Okay, now this could be like father's love speaking, or she herself was like ambitious and she decided that, oh no, this, it's easier to be crooked than be like go the straight and narrow. We could never know. So the investigating officer at the end of all of this says that through newspaper advertisements for easy money, she came in contact with pimps who offered to pay her money for recruiting college girls as escorts. She became addicted to money, began to smoke, drink. Okay, first of all, I'm annoyed because you can see that they're already starting to like profile her with the smoking and drinking.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, I feel like they profiled her the moment she probably said, I want to be a crorepati. Like, as if that automatically indicates that she's a bad person.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a little much.
I understand the whole recruiting girls to be escorts against, I don't know if it against their will or, with consent. That part is not clear because obviously no one wants to get into that part.
Yeah.
But smoking and drinking, bruh, just come on.
Everyone does it. It's not even like it's not specific to a
murderer.
woman going the bad way.
Yes, that one.
sort of situation. But that's also how Maria Susaraj was portrayed.
That's true.
In part, that's how Indrani Mukherjee was initially portrayed. So I don't know, maybe that's just a media thing. It's fun. It's fun to say women are not nice.
Yeah. So Priya launches her own enterprise at this point. So it is a website that offers high-profile escorts to rich businessmen.
Whoa.
Right?
Okay.
Yep. So when the clients contacted her on WhatsApp, she sent them some photos to choose from, and then she demanded the entire payment in advance, which is usually around 25 to 30,000. She would meet them at the hotel to collect the cash. And then she would pretend that she has to go and pay the driver. Like, oh, I have to just go pay the driver. I'll come back or whatever. And then just escape.
What? Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, so she didn't actually have any escorts to
No, so that was a side business. But this was her main thing.
to loot people pretending like she had Wait, I don't understand. A lot of this works on word of mouth. So
Yeah, it
wouldn't
was
people just
her
tell
mouth.
each other, hey, don't use that website? I mean, it's just
But she
so easy.
kept changing her phone number so that she can keep doing this.
wow. That's
Yep.
crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so now, by her own admission in the documentary, she has apparently conned like thousands of men. I mean, I would take this with a little bit of pinch of salt because she has like this air of like, I'm so amazing. And she seems very proud of this scheme.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Is it? Okay, actually, I don't know. Keep going. Maybe we can continue like trying to understand where she was coming from outside of greed. I don't know.
So far, greed seems to be the only motivation.
Oh, okay, that's nice.
And obviously none of her clients or anyone filed any cases because they were ashamed
Of
for
course.
reaching out for sex.
I didn't even think about that. That makes so
she
much
was-
sense.
Yeah, so she was just like, yeah, okay, I'm just going to keep this up for like a year.
Wow. It
Yep.
is the perfect crime.
Yeah, that's what happens when you associate morals with sex. Like,
Then you just become embarrassed. You don't want to report it.
exactly. Can you imagine if someone did this from like Urban Clap or something? They were just like, oh, you order on fixing your AC and they just took your money and never came back. Would you not
Yeah.
complain?
Yeah, exactly. I would just go on to say this website probably didn't have a customer service number. Maybe that was also a problem.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. Maybe that was the only problem.
Correct.
People wanted to come out and say their story, but they found out there's no grievance officer on the
Yes.
website.
No ombudsman. Correct.
Yeah.
So she's doing this all through like 2013. But in 2014, one of her clients finally filed a case of cheating against her in the Shamnagar police station. She was arrested, but she came out on bail like shortly after.
Okay, this is still in Jaipur.
Yeah.
All right.
She was also picked up by the police again in 2014 for attempting to slice open the cash machine in an ATM with a gas cutter.
What?
Yeah, she's just like, I will do anything for money.
Wait, I'm still digesting those words.
I know.
Like, it sounds like something an AI sentence generator spit up. It's
Chat
so
GPT.
yeah, it's so random.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
Was she successful?
no, she got caught by the
damn it.
police. But
Okay,
but
fine.
even that, she got out in a day.
Oh,
Yeah.
She has people in high places. Or, was her side business actually blackmail?
I think it was the fact that, oh, she's a woman and
Oh.
it's just an ATM machine. It's fine. I feel like she played that a lot in her life
Okay, must have worked for her because she managed it so far.
so far.
Yeah.
In Jan 2018, she was in a live-in relationship with someone in Noida. So now she's moved. And at this point, when she was in a relationship with this person, she tried to extort like 7 lakhs from him. Right?
Wow, how healthy.
I know. Boundaries. So when he called her out on it, he was just like, bro, what the hell? She basically threatened to file a rape case.
Oh,
right?
no.
And then the man went to the police and he was able to provide enough evidence through voice notes of her saying that she would kill him and his family, or that she would pour acid on his sister, and basically just like ratted her out completely.
Okay.
So she was charged for extortion and she was sent to jail for a month.
What? A month?
Yes,
That was it?
that's it. But
All right.
throughout this entire time, she kept insisting that she wasn't really blackmailing him. She was just like, no, I was pregnant and he ditched me. I loved him and he left me and he beat me when we lived together. That's why I did all this. And then like the police were just like, where is the proof? There is nothing. I have voice notes of you screaming and saying that you're going to kill his family.
She must have got me with so much so far that she just kept rolling with
Yes.
it, right? That's the only thing I
So-
can presume.
So far, you can see like she started off with small things and now she's slowly trying to like build up her,
Ah, okay.
right?
Resume.
Her resume. So now in 2000, sorry, so this is in Jan 2018 is when like all of this happens. She goes to jail for a month. Almost immediately in Feb, she like now that she's out, she's bored, she's on Tinder. So she
Okay.
swipes right on a 21-year-old guy called Dikshant Kamra on Tinder.
Okay.
Right? And she's moved back to Jaipur. And by the time in March, they rent a house together in Gandhinagar in Jaipur
Okay.
in an apartment complex called Eden Garden. Okay. Now, this whole story sounds a little scammy because Dikshant was a model / producer in Mumbai. And he had just moved back to Jaipur because like he owed about 25 lakhs to people. So he's like, I'm escaping.
All right.
Right. Now, Priya, being a little con artist that she is, she suggests an extortion plan to repay that debt, which Dikshant is ready like, yeah, that sounds right. This is a healthy relationship.
Yeah, birds of a feather do crime stuff together. I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah.
So she goes back on Tinder and she starts swiping on boys that seem wealthy. So here she comes across a profile of a Delhi-based man by the name of Vivan. So from the look of his profile, it appeared like, he's kind of like a party boy. He spends recklessly. So this is the exact person that Priya would ideally target, men who had money to waste. And therefore you can extort them and not feel guilty about it.
All right.
Right? At least according to her. So Priya sets her sights on him. They wine and dine, go on dates, and eventually she convinces him that she truly loves him, like the amazing con woman that she is. Right. So on 2nd May 2018, a Thursday evening, Vivan drives to Priya's house, picks up a bottle of wine on the way, and he finds a very happy Priya welcoming him in. So in a few minutes after he made himself comfortable, something truly horrifying happens. Right? 2 menacing men show up named Dikshant and Lakshya, who we will later learn as Priya's henchmen. Dikshant, of course, is her boyfriend in air quotes,
Yes,
I guess.
that's right.
So now, the moment he sees the scene, Vivan is like, oh my god, Priya's in trouble?
Okay.
He thinks that she is being held against her will as well. And he's absolutely terrified. He's wondering what the hell is going on. This poor girl, she's stuck inside.
Okay.
But then Priya emerges from the shadows and reveals that it was her plan all along to ambush him.
What? Man.
A very sad, disappointing,
Yeah.
just,
I mean, imagine him. He brought wine and everything. It's just awful.
I
Yeah.
know. So, however, she does offer him a way out because she's a benevolent goddess. She says, we'll let you go if you pay us the measly sum of 10 lakh rupees.
So not extortion.
Yeah.
Just kidnapping
No.
and ransom. Okay.
Yeah,
then.
exactly. Yeah. So this is the part where it gets a bit tricky because Vivan looks at this and immediately he says, I don't have any money.
Oh.
And Priya is confused. She says, what are you talking about? You're a rich businessman that blows money on like fancy clothes and clubs. What are you talking about? And that's when Vivan reveals that he's not actually Vivan, but he is Dushyant Sharma.
Okay.
And Priya does not believe him at all. She's just like, show me your Aadhaar, show your driving license, let me see. And this Dushyant is scared and worried and he pulls out his IDs and there it was. He was definitely Dushyant Sharma.
Dushyant Sharma is actually a lower middle class man with a wife and 2 kids. And to make matters worse, he's not from Delhi, he's local, which means you can't let go of him because he's going to go to the police immediately. So now Dushyant is a liability. And on that note, we're going to take a break. So that your sadness may continue.
This is very stressful. Welcome back after the break. We are at a point where I have gotten ulcers because the story is going places and those places are not great. We were with Priya, who thought she was tricking a Delhi businessman named Vivan into handing her over some money. But it turns out he was lying about his origins. And he's actually a localite named Dushyant who lives in Jaipur. And now she's like, well, he's going to go to the police. So sucks to be Priya.
Sucks to be everyone, to be honest.
In this scenario, yeah.
Yep. So who is Dushyant? Dushyant is actually this 26-year-old guy. He's like a project manager with some mining company. His family has described him as an obedient son, caring husband, and a father who prayed after he woke up and counted the prayer beads before he went to sleep. All of this obviously came out after the investigation. His wife says he was shy. In 3 years, he never said a rude word to me. He helped me with housework. He was fond of cooking, touching elders' feet, never spoke to any of my female friends. He was not interested in aajkal ki ladkiyan.
She said all this out loud.
Yep.
I bet she hadn't seen the evidence. So
We're all just going to ignore the fact that this guy was on Tinder, right?
yeah, I think we are because I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So it was an arranged marriage, but clearly his wife was completely in love with him. So this is Dushyant. So let's go back to May 2nd, 2018, right? So now we know how it was from Priya's perspective, but from Dushyant's perspective, basically he tells his wife that he's going out for work at 7 o'clock and he'll be back within the hour.
Okay.
Right? And at 9:45 when she calls him, he says, oh no, one of my company's trucks have been confiscated and, they need money of like 8 lakhs, 8 to 10 lakhs. So, I'll just come back late at night.
Oh, okay. Very specific, but okay.
But yeah, so this is basically the time that he's getting extorted.
Oh.
And he doesn't want to reveal that this is what is going on.
I thought this was his terrible excuse to say, I'm going to go meet another girl. Like, I thought.
No, his excuse was, I'm going to work. His excuse for trying to get money was this.
Yeah, I mean, he was probably stressed out. It's fine. Yeah.
So his family keeps trying to reach him, but he keeps getting disconnected. And now, it's a tight-knit community. So some of the relatives and neighbors who are around, they've kind of gathered. They're trying to figure out what happens.
Right.
Next day, at around 9:45 in the morning, his father finally gets a call from his number. But it's not him. It's Priya, and it's a ransom call. So at 9:45 on May 3rd, Dushyant's father, Rameshwar, is getting this call and his son says, send these people 10 lakhs or they will kill me.
Okay.
Then Priya just grabs the phone and says that, uncle, you have 20 minutes to transfer the money to his account, varna maar dungi, which means I will kill him.
Damn.
So his father immediately is like, I will deposit 3 lakhs in an hour. Don't take any drastic step. Just give me some time. I need to figure this out.
Okay.
So by 12 o'clock, he's broken his FD and he's wired like 3 lakhs to his son's saving account, which is State Bank of India. He sends the receipt of the transaction to Priya through WhatsApp, but is met with silence.
Okay.
Now everyone's really terrified because Dushyant was the last surviving son. The first child had passed away and then the second one had died in a motorbike accident a few years ago. So they're really, really terrified. And there's no noise from his phone, from Priya, from nothing. And then by night time, his father receives a call from Jotwara police station asking him to come to SMS hospital.
Oh no.
Yes. And this part is really sad. Major, major trigger warning. The police had found a purple trolley suitcase lying on the highway between Jaipur and Delhi, in which a body had been stuffed.
Oh God.
It was not easy to identify the body, but after looking at all the accessories, and that was recovered from the pouch, there was no doubt this was Dushyant.
Okay.
Yes. So this is where we're at. So let's go back one more time. Dushyant is being held captive. Priya and the Goonies realize, oh my God, this is not Vivan.
Yeah.
This is Dushyant. We need to change plans. Now, they place the ransom call and then they get all the money in the State Bank account. And then they realize that there is a debit card limit of 25,000 per day.
Okay.
Yes.
Suckers. Anyway.
But that's when Priya decides to take an executive decision that we need to destroy all loose ends, starting with Dushyant. So her boyfriend, Dikshant, I know they're similar names, first tries to strangle him with his hands, but that doesn't work. Then their friend Goonie, Lakshya, tries to suffocate him with a pillow, but then Dushyant just falls unconscious.
Oh my God.
And then finally, Priya hands them a fruit knife and the boys stab him 11 times until he is dead.
What? They basically tortured him
They did.
and then slowly let him bleed out, right? Dude, that's disgusting.
It is.
Man, you would think after 4 seasons of this, you would be desensitized to it. But no, you're just not.
Every time you read it, every time you listen to it, you're like,
Yeah.
So at this point, Lakshya goes home to change and Priya and Dikshant are cleaning up everything. And in a fashion that's very, very similar to Jerome and Maria Suseraj, they go to a local market, buy a trolley bag, they cut up his body and they stuff it into a suitcase. Now, at this point is when Priya gets the call from Dushyant's father saying that the money has been transferred.
Uh-oh.
This poor man sent money not knowing that there was no point.
Oh, God.
Yep. So she covers her face in a shawl and she goes to an ATM to withdraw the money. But that's when she meets with a limit and she gets just 25,000 rupees out. Then they take Dushyant's car, pick up this Lakshya who had gone home to change. They drop the suitcase on the Jaipur-Delhi highway. And that evening, Priya leaves for her new assignment for her escort service.
What?
Yeah.
Who is this heartless woman?
Yes.
What is going on?
As usual, she meets the man at the hotel, pretends like she has to pay the driver, and she takes the money and she leaves.
Wow,
so that
take a
scam is still
breather.
going on.
Take a breather between crimes, girl. You really escalated it in the last
Yep.
few hours. You should take a break. Why?
yeah.
Why am I promoting self-care for a murderer?
Because you're still a passionate person,
I suppose.
unlike Priya, who clearly is the devil incarnate.
Yeah, I swear.
Yeah.
The way you're saying this though sounds like it's still going to get worse.
I guess this could be like the peak of no, it gets worse.
Okay.
Yes. So finally, the three of them buy a fake number plate and then they just head towards Gandhinagar railway station, park the car at a safe place, and they're just waiting for the train so they can escape.
Okay.
Unluckily for them, the family had already informed the police and the investigating officer, Gur Bhupender Singh. And the police was like already reaching out to Dushyant's friends to find out more. One of his friends tips the officer about the girl that he was seeing, the colony where she lived. And as soon as, and this is a stupid mistake, as soon as she withdraws that money from the ATM, they know exactly
where
to go.
Yeah, man, because technology is a boon
Yep.
for all forensic evidence. I just have to be clear about that.
Yes, absolutely. So they were able to like track her down, and they, whatever investigation needed to be done at the flat, it was so easy for the police because there was like 100 articles of evidence.
Yeah,
Other
sure.
than splotches of blood all over the floor, the house, bed, mattress. The police even found stains on shoes, broken pieces of beer bottles, empty packet of potato crisps, basically everything that they needed to convict her.
Man, despite everything else, one thing that I just really want to say is if you're going to kidnap a person, first of all, don't do it.
Yes.
But if you do it, please don't ask for a transfer in a very, very evident electronic form. What you ask for is unmarked bills in cash, and you ask them to drop it off at a specific site.
But you're not going to get that in 20 minutes anyway.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of loopholes in this terrible plan that Priya put in place. But this one thing I just want to assert because it's the one that made me the most angry because of that nonsense, somebody lost a life.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yep. So early morning on May 4th, the three of them were arrested on charges of kidnapping, extortion, murder, and elimination of evidence.
Yep.
They realized
that's the whole roster. Yeah.
Yep. They realized that there's no escaping this. So they just admitted to everything. But here's the fun part. When she was brought in and the press were all like waiting for her, I say fun with a lot of sarcasm.
Of course, yeah.
Right? And they're all like, taking pictures and this and that. She apparently turned around and snapped and said, "What? Is this the first murder committed in India?"
What?
That's her attitude to getting caught, yo. Like, why are you so surprised?
Dude, that's the tone of a sociopath. Right?
Yeah, she is. You need to watch that documentary. It's a short one, but yeah. So this actually brings me to the very, very interesting section of this story, which is the media portrayal and everything. Oh yeah. Everything that came out after she was caught. Okay. So obviously the first thing is that because she's a woman, everyone is like, aha, oh, yuck.
I started laughing because I anticipated what you were going to say.
On top of all that, she was ambitious and she went about achieving things in a crooked way. So, gisappe.
And she clearly had a mouth on her.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And even through the case, several articles have pointed to the lack of regret on her face and in her photos and videos that were shot after. So here are the list of things that people added to her personality. And I say that in quotes.
This is from news articles.
News articles, of course it is.
Yeah, right.
She smoked Marlboro and drank black label whiskey and only had Himalayan water. Yes.
Okay.
Her branded shoes from Mumbai cost 35,000 rupees and her designer watch was 45,000 rupees.
That's kind of on the low end of designer stuff.
Remember when your personality was designer shoes?
Yeah.
There's a publication called Dainik Bhaskar, which estimated her haul from like these 5 years of illegal activity to be about 1.75 crore or 17 million rupees.
Nice. If she didn't pay tax on them, then it's all her.
Obviously, this is like illegal. There's no tax on this.
Wait, I have a question. There was murder, etc., but no money laundering?
Oh, how did she miss that?
Maybe because the other witnesses wouldn't have come forward. They would have had to admit the fact that they gave her the money, I guess.
Ah, that's fair. That's
I keep
fair.
forgetting about the shame we attached to sex in general as a concept.
Yes.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Go on, please. I'm very keen to keep hearing this.
Now, the prosecution's lawyer has also been quoted saying she asked her lawyer to appeal to the court to allow her to smoke in jail. Can you believe that?
Yeah, I can believe that. From
Yes.
what you have told me, I actually can believe it. It is a human right after all, I guess.
Yes. Also, she's really stressed out. She probably needs one of those Marlboro, whatever.
Or you know what? The way these things are going, it's very likely that she put these statements out into the public because honestly, if you're going to be famous in this
Yeah.
way, you might as well be truly infamous.
Yep.
Yeah.
But here's the funny part. Dushyant's entire family still refuses to believe that he had like a double life. And they still blame Priya for seducing him.
What?
Which is, yeah. One of his aunt even said, once a woman loses her jijak or hesitation, there is nothing she will stop at. What are you saying?
I don't even know what to say right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, remember her boyfriend who was basically complicit in all of this?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. He tries to redeem himself by painting her as this evil witch.
Wow.
Yeah. And he says they developed like an emotional connection and he thought that she worked in a travel agency.
Okay, that's just pushing
Yes.
it. He was right there, willing to do all the accessory
Yes.
to murder stuff, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's just trash now.
And when he found out about all of these things that she wanted him to do and she was forcing him to do, he wanted to leave, but he didn't get the opportunity.
Wow, must be so.
Yeah.
Must have been hard.
Yeah. So we're all just going to ignore the fact that there was like a 25 lakh debt on his head and that he agreed to all of this extortion. And that's all fine. Like at that time, it was all fine.
Oh man, you've thrown so much information at me that I keep forgetting the motives. Of course, they all had motives.
Because there's so much going on. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
There really is. And I'm sure it didn't help that, publications are only looking at it as, wow, this vixen, as opposed to here are the facts.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So now there are this is the final bit, okay? There are these
yeah.
two sort of opposing but complementary stories that I wanted to talk about. So before I get into the last bit, which is like two sort of opposing stories, which I really like, I think it's time that we take a break, assimilate all of these information, just because there's so many motives, so many plot lines, so much stories, and then we'll come back after a break.
Welcome back after the break, everyone. We last left off with Priya and, that entire group whose names I'm forgetting because they all sound so similar.
Yeah.
But Priya is the core one of all of this. Unabashedly, essentially taking, the blame for this crime. And, just throwing around demands about how she wants to smoke in jail and stuff like that. And generally just being, overall a very sassy woman. I, in the meantime, while you guys are ruminating on the break, managed to take my ulcer medication.
Oh,
So
good.
I'm feeling better. And
There's more.
fine, let's get through it.
Okay, so basically we're talking about two of the biggest stories that came out that I felt were most relevant, right? So the first one is this documentary by Deepika Bharadwaj. Trigger warning to anyone who's watching this video, there is the image of the suitcase that we had discussed. Yep. So the video is in an interview format and it provides a lot of information about this case. Basically, the journalist has conversations with Priya, with the police, Dikshant, Lakshya, a lot of Dushyant's families.
Okay.
And listening to Priya is an eerie experience. Now that you know the story, it is hard to imagine her talking so happy, so chirpy. Even when she's talking about like disposing the body and heading to her next fraud job, she is so nonchalant.
Oh God. Okay.
Yeah. And she says that the plan to murder this person was always there. Like it wasn't like a last minute idea because everything failed.
Okay.
And then at this point, the journalist intervenes. Is like, why would you murder someone if you got the money? And then she just answers very matter of fact. We murdered him before we got the money. It's so And she even describes the entire process like so clinically. She talks about the ex who had filed those false allegations and she went to jail for a month. And then she talks about how like she would off him too if she had the chance.
Wow.
Right?
Okay.
And after she says all of this, she says, she's like very adamant and she says, I never stabbed Dushyant. I only handed the knife.
I mean,
Like, what are you trying to justify here?
I don't think she's trying to justify anything. In fact, I think she's just trying to say, yeah, okay, I did it, but also I didn't fully do it.
Of course.
In a weird sort of like, reclamation of whatever scrap of dignity she has left. I don't know.
I guess. But then her boyfriend flips the story around and says, no, she's the one who stabbed first. The whole murder plan was something she never told these two goonies. Like, it was entirely her agenda only and all of that, which I think is just like nonsense at this point. Like you're saying anything to save yourself.
No, I mean,
right?
There's also a very good, like, very, very high likelihood that all of these are just statements that they made to the media. We haven't seen the evidence, right? We would know.
True.
Whose fingerprints were on it, where blood splatters can tell you who probably killed someone. There's footprints, I'm sure, everywhere. I'm sure none of these people made any effort to really clean up the place. Because while you said this was a lot like, Jerome and Maria, Jerome and Maria were very methodical about how they cleaned up afterwards.
Yes.
These guys clearly weren't.
Yep. And even then they got caught.
Yeah.
So,
that's right.
Blood sticks on stuff, man. Just
blood gets everywhere, you guys. I had a flu for a couple of weeks. And and sometimes, when you sneeze too hard, there's a little bit of blood that comes out. It's absolutely normal. But when you see that like randomly, like just spread out on a piece of tissue, you're just like, wow, there's not that much blood, but it gets everywhere.
It does.
So it's just, man, the evidence was everywhere. And that also is just, it pisses me off across the board.
Now, the journalist also asked Priya about her escort service scam. And she was like, okay, but why do you like extort these men? And at this point, Priya actually gets very angry. And she said that it's fraud, not extortion. Okay, we will make that change for you. So she says, I faked an excuse and left. Yeah. It's not extortion. I just did not provide a service that they wanted. I know.
You advertised the service though. So
yeah, exactly. In fact, she calls this a social service. Does she?
I'm sure she does. Yeah.
She says that men who cheat on their families deserve this. Which I find hilarious. Like, how do you think you have the moral high ground when you have literally confessed to murdering someone?
No. I know what's going on here. This is the way she rehabilitates her image. Because she throws, and this, let me just look at this as the media treats her so shrilly. Well-deserved in most of situations, but in some cases not really. But she kind of twists it around and says, oh, they are the ones who try to cheat on their partners. Therefore, I cannot be blamed for it. And that's just a reversal of a tactic that the media already used. So she's just learning off of what is thrown at her and just like reverse Uno right back at everybody else.
Yeah, that's actually a really interesting way of looking at it. I hadn't considered that before.
Dude, it's just, I don't know. She strikes me as one of those people who'd be so good at PR.
Please do not taint my profession like this.
Not about tainting the profession. There's somebody out there. I'm sure she'd do great PR for murderers at the least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is, I'm not a huge fan of this video because there's a part where it gets a little iffy. Like so far, the journalist is sort of reporting and then suddenly you get a line that says she has been granted bail only because she's a woman. The law is lenient because she's a woman. And then it goes into, talking about like misuse of rape laws. There should be a deterrent for women who file false rape allegations. And if you go on her Twitter also, it's like, she's talking about like, maybe. So I think she started off as a voice for men, which is good. But then now it's just more like she's become more and more hostile towards women, which is, you don't have to pick someone up by putting someone else down.
I agree.
Yeah.
That I should check out this documentary because a lot of this is just like flying over my head.
Yeah.
It's probably tone and stuff. So I'll probably check that out and see.
Nisha, there is a lot
when
of
someone
tone.
watches a movie and says, hey, I recommend it, the response should be, wow, I will look into it. Just saying.
So I'm still like 50-50 on this particular documentary, but it provides a good insight into Priya. Like because she's literally interviewing her.
Got
so
it,
you can see her.
Yeah, dude, that part is the most interesting for me. The fact that she said, yes, I committed this murder and now I will talk about it on a filmed like interview. Like the audacity is just beautiful.
Yep, it is. So now the next article of importance is by Snigdha Poonam for The Open magazine, and it's called Lady Killers. Right? So she talks about all of the crime reporting that she has ever done. And she also says, where were the women? To which I say, girl, listen to our podcast.
Oh, man, Lady Killers would be a great podcast name.
Ooh, but then like there's not that many murderers and then you have to stop at some point.
But what about...
Priya Seth.
No. What about... I was trying to see if the word lady killers can be hyphenated and something can come out of it, but it can't.
No.
It is what it is. Go on.
So this article, she even talks about how, like, even though there were 3 people involved in this murder, Priya became like the face of it.
Okay.
Right? She spoke to a local journalist who's also covering the case, who told her that Priya's actions had a simple explanation. No woman born so beautiful would be content with a regular life.
Okay.
And then she just like writes that down and she's like, this idiot. No, she's a professional.
Oh man. But why? Why would she take that sort of a tone with it? I'm a little confused.
No, she didn't take the tone. Sorry. She spoke to a local journalist who was covering the case.
Wow. Why would that journalist take that tone?
Yeah.
It's the same question. It's a different person. Yeah, because I guess so. I mean, the fact that we paint women as just physically this, and therefore they only have these qualities is just nuts. Yeah.
That's something that even Snigdha complains about, like how over the course of the long trial, she heard more details about her lifestyle than her crimes. So that's something that pissed her off as well. She's just like, can you please? She is a murderer. Who cares what she drank or smoked?
Yeah. Man. Yeah. Unless she was drinking the victim's blood, which is...
Yes, which is, okay.
Yeah, I
understand.
That. Yeah. Outside of that, I don't see why any of this other stuff was relevant.
Right? Yeah. And even, like, you remember when I said that she asked for cigarettes in jail? There's a second part to that quote where the other publications don't take it, but she does. Snigdha does.
Okay.
The second part to that quote that the prosecution lawyer, after saying, she asked for cigarette, can you believe that? He says, she should be requesting for a portrait of Lord Ram so she can confess her sins.
What?
Next thing you know, she'll be asking for permission to wear jeans and tops inside the jail. Yeah.
What?
Yes.
Man, sometimes lawyers think anything goes. Like, truly, it's disgusting.
It is. It is. And in the course of reporting this trial, the journalist was apparently repeatedly asked to clarify and confirm her character by cops, lawyers, jailers, families of the accused and the victim. And obviously all of them painted the same story, right? Yeah. She's a bad girl with a bad attitude. She drinks bad liquor. I don't know.
No, they said black label. Come on.
Oh, okay. So find good liquor for bad girls.
That's what, yuck. It sounds like, oh my God, it sounds like some item number in an Akshay Kumar movie.
Basically, like everyone on this story or on this, like the side that was accusing her were all talking about, our culture, our heritage and people like her.
Yeah, yeah, I get it. Yeah.
So there's one last quote from this particular article, which I really liked. And the journalist says, in years of writing about men accused of horrible crimes, I rarely saw them being condemned for living it up. There was a clear sense of awe in the reports describing their cars, bungalows, and foreign travel. No matter where it led them, ambition was an admirable quality in men.
I agree.
Right?
I mean, it's hard to agree because she did commit a murder.
But that's the thing that when the journalist says, no matter where it led them, like even if it is ending up in murder, the fact that they're ambitious is still an admirable quality. Whereas when Priya displays it, it's like, chee.
Agreed. Yeah, but that's the only way, I guess, the prosecution can prove that she was a terrible person. The murder in itself was not enough, or the physical evidence, or, all the digital evidence as well. It's the fact that they have to paint her as someone who smokes. Yes. To be like, she sucked.
Yep. Yeah. So that brings us to the last segment. Where is she now?
Oh yeah, where is she now?
So on September 12th, 2018, the three accused were produced in Jaipur's session court for the first time. All eyes were on Priya, who was small and she was wearing a yellow kurta and black salwar and golden dupatta. Obviously, we
Okay.
know all this because reported.
Okay.
Her face was very pale. She had dark circles. She had straight brown hair. And apparently she was scowling the entire time
Oh
until
my
she saw her
God.
family.
What did she? Is she going to get the noose? I can't.
No.
I can't.
And then after all of these descriptions, there were two boys behind her. That's all. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So
Anyway.
obviously people were staring at her hoping that she will throw a tantrum or like break down or show any regret. And she did squat. She just sat there with her poker face.
Yeah, good for her. I mean, not
Yeah.
good for her, but you know what I mean. She gives them less to talk about, I guess.
Yeah.
But no, but yeah, what happened? Did the court case go anywhere, or was it just a constant reproduction of all of her outfits?
Yes, it was that. And then in August 2020, the Rajasthan High Court denied bail to her. Apparently, there were appeals to seek her release and they've been rejected multiple times. And somehow, honestly, it just feels like the court isn't interested in conducting this case. For more than a year now, there's no witness that's been asked to appear, either in person or remotely or anything. She's just in Jaipur Women's Jail. She's just waiting. And the last update that we have from her jailer is that apparently, finally, she placed a request for a book, which was the Hanuman Chalisa.
What?
That's it. That's all we know.
I'll be honest, that's a beautiful way to end this episode.
Yeah.
Wow.
If there are more updates, of course, we will
Yes.
post them up as soon as we get it. But
Definitely.
important question. Capital punishment, yes or no?
No.
Really?
Yeah, because it's still not the rarest of rare circumstances. It's not. I mean, under law, it would not even be applicable. It's just a dumb woman doing dumb things. There's no elaborate element of premeditation. I don't see this being one of those cases where it'll be given the death sentence.
No, I know. I see, honestly, I mean, the court is not even looking at it. It's been years. But I'm saying, should it get capital punishment? Yes or no?
No.
Really?
Yeah. It's fine. Let her serve some time, like her rest of her lifetime in jail. I'm okay with that. But fundamentally, I don't believe in the death penalty. The only time where my convictions wavered a little bit when we were doing the Renuka Shinde episode.
Yeah.
My convictions wavered like nobody's business on that point. But this is not one of those cases. I don't feel. I mean, you should remember in that episode, there were multiple cases and it was specifically
children.
Against children. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not the same here. In fact, if you really think about it, there was this dude who voluntarily decided to be there and things went south and that's how they will portray it. But that's kind of it.
I get where you're coming from. But besides the fact that, this was all planned and she brutally murdered this guy, the fact that she shows no regret, there is no way you're going to be able to integrate her back into society.
They're not going to care about that though. They won't integrate you back into society. They just keep you in jail forever. That's the alternative. Also, you hand out the death penalty like it's Tic Tacs. What the hell? You get a death penalty. You get a death penalty. Yeah, everybody gets a death penalty. Wow, you littered in a park? Death penalty. That's Nisha.
Although, if we are doing that, we are contributing to global warming and that's a death penalty by itself.
Effectively, yeah, that is. The world is going to burn before we know it. Don't have children. There's really no point.
Hey, no, so sad. Maybe children can save the world. I don't know. Let's just pass it on to them. They'll figure it out.
Yeah. Let the kids figure it out. I mean, we did, right? As millennials. Capitalism is the best. But yeah, that was the end of the episode, I presume, because I'm in no amount of ulcer medication truly will take me out of this. So I'm kind of screwed for the next few days. But if you like this episode, please leave us reviews. We're available on YouTube. And of course, you can leave us little stars on Spotify. We'll only accept 5 stars. Anything lower than that, you should be ashamed. Wow. Correct. Wow. The other thing, of course, also we're on Audible, bunch of other platforms, Apple Podcasts. Please leave reviews there. Thank you so much.
Yes, and we're obviously on the IVM Podcast Network or any other podcast platform. You can talk to us specifically, Raghavi and Nisha, on Instagram. Tell us what you think of this new format.
And we'll see you on the next episode of Misconduct.